Welcome back, everybody. Sorry I've been out of town the last few days. I went to see my parents and nieces and nephews. I'm back, but it's late and I've got to unpack and start laundry and all that stuff. So I wanted to find a quick video that I could do. I got this song recommended to me the other day, Sabaton-Father. It's off of their new album, I believe. I have no idea what direction it's going to go. I don't know who it's talking about or anything like that. So, like with the other Sabaton songs, I'll just see what I can pick up, and if I can, by the end of it, figure out exactly what direction they're going. Let's jump into it.
Long ago in Eastern Prussia, young men with great ambitions rise. So who can tell me, who can say for sure which one will win the Nobel Prize? It was a golden age for science. The Kaiserreich would hold the key. And as the conflict came and tensions rose, the manifest of the 93. Haber-Bosch, the great alliance. Where's the contradiction? Fed the world by ways of science. Dinner order saint. Father of toxic gas and chemical warfare. His star creation has been repeated over no man's land. A poisonous nightmare. A deadly mist on the battlefield.
Yeah, so obviously Fritz Haber is what the song's about, the father of chemical warfare. Um, his Nobel Prize was because, well, essentially the synthesis of, not of oxygen, of nitrogen, right? Wasn't it because it was nitrogen and it was used specifically for fertilizer? It was a huge deal. Um, the lane of science is not really my lane. Now, science and history obviously often cross over each other, but I couldn't give you the breakdown of a lot of stuff science related that's happened historically. But I'm pretty sure Fritz Haber was uh, the synthesis of nitrogen and its ability to essentially create fertilizer, right? Um, if that's wrong or off in some way or another, let me know. But I know it has something to do with that process and its fertilizer. Anyway, um, and then obviously, father of chemical warfare, you have the chemical weapons of World War One. I'm trying to think for sure mustard gas, uh, chlorine gas. Is that it? I want to say there's another one, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. So I don't know if I just can't remember or if there's not actually another one. But for sure, chlorine and mustard gas were, I believe, his. Um, and obviously, it played a big role, right? You had gas that was a byproduct of the dye industry in Germany with World War One, and they go and they place these. Obviously, it's very unsophisticated in comparison to what could be done today, or even what has been done since then. But they bury these canisters all over the place, um, that are covered, and they have these gases in them. And I believe for that one in particular that I'm thinking of, it was chlorine gas. And they take the top off and when the wind's right, and then it just takes it, which is really wild because wind changes direction all the time, all the time. So you're just rolling the dice that it's gonna keep blowing in the same direction hard enough that it takes the gas over there. Um, but Germany almost broke a line with it. the Entente was not ready for it. Germany wasn't even really ready for it. That's why they didn't get a true breakthrough. But they weren't ready for it. It killed a bunch of people on the side of the Entente. Others were fleeing and running away because obviously nobody really knows what the hell is going on. Well, it ends up that it's gas. And this is unfortunately kind of a common part of World War One, and there are just some absolute horror stories from soldiers who were either like in one of the gas attacks or witnessed the after effects of it. They're just terrible, terrible stories. But yeah, Fritz Haber's kind of a complicated figure.
Versions of ideals of science, lost words of alienated wife. And in the trenches of the Western Front, unknowing soldiers pay the price. And on the battlefield they're dying, and on the fields the crops are grown. So who can tell us what is right or wrong? That's all morality alone. Haber-Bosch, the great alliance, where's the contradiction? Fed the world by ways of science, sinner or a saint. Father of toxic gas and chemical warfare, his dog creation has been rebuilt. The war in no man's land, a poisonous nightmare, a deadly mist on the battlefield. Father of toxic gas and chemical warfare, his dog creation has been rebuilt. The war in no man's land, a poisonous nightmare, a deadly mist on the battlefield.
I knew the guitar was coming.
During times when there's peace, he belongs to the world. During times when there's war, he belongs to his place of birth. What's coming next? From your inventions, we wonder where does it end? Who can foresee? See what will be. Haber-Bosch, the great alliance, where's the contradiction? Fed the world by ways of science, sinner or a saint. Father of toxic gas and chemical warfare, his dog creation has been rebuilt. The war in no man's land, a poisonous nightmare.
I really, really like this one. Before it finishes up, what do you guys think about this? I feel like it's very easy today to judge historical figures and circumstances, even battles or wars, in a very black and white way, a very good or bad way, which of course is probably way too simplistic, and we probably should not do it that way at all as like a society. But it's very easy to do that looking back. And we have this idea that we're kind of like more evolved. Certainly socially, we have this idea that we're more evolved today. But where is the line for something like this or for somebody like this? Because there's no doubt he played a huge role in the world population explosion. I mean, the amount of food that is around today, like it's a huge deal. I can't understate how not understate, I can't overstate how big of a deal it is. But on the other side, it's not just death in war, but it's like the worst, the least, it's the worst part of humanity. It's like the least moral way that you could like kill somebody or see somebody killed is the like asphyxiation on gases. It's such a horrible thing. So where do you fall? Cuz I believe there were other Nobel winners that like didn't accept their award, or they didn't go to the ceremony or something like that. It stirred controversy. And so I'm curious kind of where everybody, you know, is that something you agree with, him getting the Nobel Prize? And would you applaud that in the modern day? Or is it a thing where like, no, he's done way too much bad, like bury this dude? But where, or somewhere in between? Where do y'all fall?
I'm in the midst of the battlefield of toxic gas and chemical warfare. It's the creation that's been repeatable in no man's land, a poisonous nightmare. I'm in the midst of the battlefield.
God, Bismarck is such a great song too. I haven't heard it in a while. All right, so that was Sabaton-Father, the lyric video. I'm curious what everybody thinks about that. Liked the song. Sabaton never misses, I feel like. And I really liked the guitar solo. It sounded great. It picked its own way through the melody really, really well. So liked the whole thing. I'm curious what everybody thinks about the kind of darker topic in general. I will be back on basically a normal schedule this upcoming week, so be on the lookout for, me unloading all of these videos. And so, yeah, I'll see you guys then.